Hey guys, so today I'm doing a review on the new Maybelline Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation. This is a new release at the drugstore. I've seen it range in price heavily. I saw it for around $6 something at Target, and I bought mine for $10 at Ulta, and this actually isn't even 1 fluid ounce, this is 0.67 fluid ounces, which really isn't much at all, so that's kind of a downer. They had, I think, 12, maybe 16 shades, so it had a pretty good shade selection. It pretty much says like a liquid to powder form, and it's supposed to be really lightweight and like light coverage, but it also says flawless finish, so it's kind of, you know, it is very light coverage. This is like the coverage of a BB cream. Even if you tried to build it up, I did try to layer it in certain spots and it just kind of caked up on dry spots. So if you have dry skin, I really don't see this working for you. But if you definitely have any acne scarring or anything that has like patches of dried skin, then this probably won't be for you. I moisturized before and it still did that for me. If you're not used to my channel and you're just watching this for this review, I have combo oily acne prone skin, so I have a lot of acne scarring, things to cover, and I have oily T-zone and dry around the outside of my face, so pretty much my skin is all over the place all the time, so I need a foundation that kind of works for everything. I don't like really heavy coverage, medium coverage tops for me. This has a SPF of 20, so that's great if you need SPF in your foundation, which in the summer most people usually like having. I didn't take any photos with this, but I will later and tell you if it had a flashback to it. When I first applied it, it looked very matte. It definitely dries very quickly. It does go to that powder finish. I do like the finish of it. It definitely looks natural, lightweight, and everything. Like I said, it's a little dry for my liking at the moment. We'll see how it holds up with my T-zone, because my T-zone does get really oily. It says shake well before use. Definitely do that because you don't want things to separate in here. And the really good thing about this one is that instead of just pouring out liquid on the back of your hand or something, it has this kind of applicator thingy, and it holds a decent amount like that on there, so you can use that and just put it on your face like I did, because I didn't want to put it on the back of my hand and then just use my fingers to put it on my face. I would definitely recommend blending this in with your fingertips, not a sponge, because my sponge absorbed this right away, so it definitely has like a water base to it, so definitely don't use a sponge. It doesn't give you any directions about how to apply it, so I'm just letting you know I think fingers definitely would be the best option.
So I just realized on the back of this bottle it does say shake well, dispense to fingertip, apply to face, so I guess you do use your fingers, but I don't know. I just wasn't reading that properly. I was looking all over back the instructions and it just says right there on the top part.
But right now I do like the feel of it on my skin. That's one thing I can say that I really do like. It feels very, very lightweight. I definitely like foundations more, like the Rimmel Match Perfection and the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. I really like a review on both of those. If you want to check it out, I'll leave them below. I am going to check in, see how it's holding up throughout the day, check in with you guys later. And if you have any questions I don't answer in this video about this foundation, you want to know something about your skin tone or something, skin type, anything, whatever, just leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Let's get into it. I am going to start by using my Urban Decay B6, and it's kind of like a primer, but it's not going to change the way it feels on my skin. It's not going to change really anything except for along that B6 spray along with the setting spray I use from Urban Decay. They kind of give my makeup like 2 hours more wear. I'm going to get my Beauty Blender damp. I'm going to use it that way just because that's the way I've been applying my makeup recently. So then I'm just going to put some of the product back in my hand. By the way, I'm in the shade Pure Beige 70. Works. Well, for starters, I feel like the sponge is absorbing all of the product. There's nothing that just went on my face, so don't use a beauty blender because it just absorbs it. I think this is a water-based formula. Wow, this is thin. I don't feel this at all on my skin. It's a little dark for me, actually. That's weird because I held up my current CoverGirl foundation in the store right next to it in the shade I am, and they were the exact same shade, but this one seems to be a little bit dark, so be careful about that. It feels matte. As of right now, it doesn't really give very good coverage. My acne scarring is definitely accentuated by this. Like, my spots are definitely looking dry. I don't like that it's kind of drying so far. So I'm just going to apply the rest of my makeup, which is my everyday makeup routine, which I will link in the description box so you can check it out if you're interested in that, and then I'll be right back to talk to you. Okay, so I just finished applying the rest of my makeup, and it looks pretty good, I guess. I wouldn't say it's completely matte. It feels completely matte, but I feel like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a really, really light coverage. I had to put a lot of concealer on to cover up my spots and stuff, so this is definitely going to be something that's good for like a more natural day or if you don't need very much coverage. But a lot of people I feel like who like that magic nude one from L'Oreal would probably like this. Definitely feels like when I'm applying it with my fingers, it doesn't feel moisturizing by any means, so this probably isn't good for someone with dry skin, but so far It looks pretty good. It definitely is low coverage. Oily, it doesn't feel greasy or weird or tacky or anything. Definitely dried very quickly. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'll see you in a second. It has been 3 hours since I applied. It's around 3 o'clock now. Sorry about the hair and the mess, but you know. Usually I guess 3 hours should be like the time where it still looks pretty good. I'm feeling a little shiny. Let me look in the sunlight. Show you in the sunlight. Whoa, that's way too bright. Let's try that. Okay, so coverage I feel like is wearing off right here. You could totally see all my scars. Lovely. This side isn't as bad, but I have better skin on that side, so I don't know. I'm not loving it, honestly. It has kind of not good coverage. I like how you can still see my freckles through it. I like you guys know I like light to medium kind of coverage, but this just kind of just doesn't look like the way I want it to. Also, my dry patches are getting more and more noticeable throughout the day. I might just use some of the Dream Wonder powder. That kind of goes along with the foundation if you ask me. I really like that powder. It's just not powdery and I like it, and it doesn't cling to dry spots or anything. So I think I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush and just kind of dust that over my T-zone a little bit. I shouldn't have to do that already. It's only been 3 hours, but I am going out later. I'm sure you guys, if you were getting oily in the middle of the day when you try out new foundation, you would powder too. So I'm gonna powder a little bit. I might actually touch up some concealer over here just because the coverage is really not that great. I've only went outside to film the intro to this for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, not even, and I've been inside in air conditioning all day other than that, so I don't think it should be getting this oily this fast, and the coverage is kind of fading, so as of right now I'm just thinking that this foundation is for someone who wants really light coverage in the summer. I'm not loving it at this point. My feelings are I'll probably end up returning it to Ulta. I will check in with you guys later. Bye! Okay, so it has now been 5 hours since I applied the foundation. I don't think it's making me break out because usually I can tell like halfway through the day if the foundation is breaking me out. But it definitely is clinging to dry spots, but it's also really oily in my T-zone. I powdered it like 2 hours ago and it already feels shiny in my like T-zone. And I just think it's kind of stressful and annoying to have to put up with shininess when it doesn't even have that much coverage in the first place. This doesn't have enough coverage for me. If I'm gonna want this much coverage, I'm just gonna go for my BB cream or just not even bother wearing makeup because this is just stressful, and every time I look in the mirror I notice the dry spots that are being exaggerated and my T-zone being oily. I hate saying this because I love Maybelline. It's one of my favorite drugstore brands, probably my #1 favorite drugstore brand, but it just didn't work out. So I'm probably gonna return it. Probably not even gonna bother checking back with you guys later when I come home around 10 because I've already had it on for 5 hours and I'm already not liking it. I hope this review was helpful for you guys and you got something out of it and you decided not to buy this or to buy it or whatever. Please subscribe if you are not already so you don't miss any other reviews or videos or whatever. And all my stuff, you know, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and my blog, my new blog, which I hope you guys have checked out and I hope you like it. All that stuff is in the description box, so check it out if you want. And so I decided I would just catch up with you when I got home. I'm really tired, but I made oatmeal because I can't go to bed on an empty stomach. And I'm waiting for it to cool down, so I thought I would film real quick before I fall asleep. You can tell I can't keep my eyes open. Right now, it is 10 o'clock p.m. and I put this on at around noon, I'd say. I think it was noon, yeah. And it looks really shiny. All here, so shiny here. It is making my pores look so big. Like I said, I touched up with the Dream Wonder powder that looks like this, which I really like. This is a really good affordable powder from the drugstore. Around 3 hours into wearing it, and then I touched up again right before I left around 6. So I definitely needed to touch up. I just think that with a foundation that is this light coverage, you shouldn't have to touch up that much. And it's not really worth it. And that's my review. Like I said, I just think it's too shiny and oily for someone with oily skin, and it also clung to dry spots, so it's kind of just for like the person who has kind of pretty decent skin. So yeah, I don't really like it that much. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I said hey guys, weird. Motorcycles! Yay! There's birds everywhere. Oh my god, there's a plane. A lot. Well, I just dropped it. Yeah. I told helpful. I can't say my word.